In this video, I'm going to show you how to divide whole numbers by two-digit divisors using partial quotients. This is a bit more challenging than dividing by a single-digit divisor, so you may need to do a little extra work on some scratch paper. I suggest doing the opposite of division and asking yourself how many times you can multiply the divisor by a multiple of 1,000 to get as close to the dividend as possible without going over. However, if we use the number 1,000, when we multiply 1,000 times 17, we get 17,000. So 1,000 is too big. We're going to have to divide 5,372 by 17 in multiples of 100. If we use 100, when we multiply 100 times 17, we'll only get 1,700, but we need to get as close to 5,372 as possible. 200 will only get us to 3,400, but if we divide by 17 300 times, we will have 5,100. So 5,372 can divide by 17 300 times. Write that answer in the quotient area. Now multiply 300 times the divisor 17 to get 5,100 and record it under the dividend. Next, subtract 5,372 minus 5,100 is equal to 272. Now we're going to divide 272 by 17, and we're going to look for multiples of 10. If we have 10 groups of 17, that's 170. But if we were to have 20 groups of 17, that would be 340, which is too much because it's greater than 272. So 272 can divide by 17 10 times. Put that answer in the quotient area and line it up by place value. Next, multiply 10 by the divisor 17 to get 170 and put it under the 272 in the dividend. Next, subtract 272 minus 170 is 102. Now divide 102 by 17. You may need to work this out on scratch paper, but 102 divides by 17 6 times. Put the 6 in the quotient area, lining it up by place value. Now multiply 6 times the divisor 17 to get 102, and subtract 102 minus 102 equals 0. There is nothing left to divide, so add the partial quotients to get a final answer of 316. In the second example, we're dividing 8,823 by 43. There are 8,000s to divide by 43, but we can't divide this in a multiple of 1,000, so we're going to look at our hundreds. Put the 8,000s with the 800s to get 8,800s to divide by 43. We're going to look for an answer that is a multiple of 100. I like to use the opposite of division and think about what I can multiply by 43 to get as close to 8,823 without going over. And if I'm looking at multiples of 100, 43 times 100 will give you 4,300, but 43 times 200 will get us to 8,600. This is very close to 8,823. So 8,823 can divide by 43 200 times, and we're going to put that in the quotient area. Next, multiply the 200 by the divisor 43 to get 8,600. Subtract 8,823 minus 8,600, which is 223. Now we'll divide 223 by 43, and we want to look for groups of 10. If I use the opposite of division and think of multiplication, if I have 10 groups of 43, that's 430, which is greater than the 223 that we're dividing, so I will not be able to divide by groups of 10. So when we divide 223 by 43, we're going to get a group of ones. 223 can divide by 43 5 times, so we'll put that answer in the quotient area, lining it up by place value. Next, multiply the 5 by the divisor 43 to get 215. Now subtract 223 minus 15 equals 8. 8 cannot be divided by the divisor 43, so 8 is our remainder. Add the partial quotients and put the remainder with it to get the final answer, 205 remainder 8.